The basis for sharing equity is fairness. You want to share equity in a way that nobody is going to feel cheated. Number one rule. The second rule is that you want to share equity in a way that people get compensated or people get ownership based on what they bring to the table. So if you bring something small to the table, you get something small. If you bring a lot to the table, you get more. That is fair. The third rule is risk. People who take more risk in the business deserve to get more in terms of equity, ownership, and compensation. So if you're taking more risk, you deserve to get more in the company. So if your friend is bringing more money to the table, and now let me break it down. When you are forming a company with somebody and you're having that conversation about how should we share equity, should it be 50-50, 60-40, 30-70, 10-90, whatever it is. This basis will depend on what each party is bringing to the table. And what can parties bring to the table when you are forming a company? At the top of the list is money, capital. That is usually the most tangible thing you can see when you are starting a company. Some people want to start a company and they share the equity on things that are frivolous. Like, okay, I got the idea first, so I should own the company 70-30. So on the basis of the idea, you're getting a majority interest. Does that even make any sense, right? Some people will say, like I read in this person's comment, your friend says he's more qualified, right? He has a project management certificate and things like that. And on that basis, he deserves to get more from the company. Does that make sense? I'm going to explain. So like I was saying, the first thing people can bring to the table when you're starting a business is capital. Capital is tangible. You can count it. You can prove it. Capital. The other thing people can bring to the table when you're starting a business is expertise, know-how. Either you know the product you are going to sell very well, or you know the market very well. Expertise, knowledge, skills, and experience. That is something valuable that people can bring to the table. The downside to knowledge, skills, and experience is that we cannot value it. Now, not in terms of, because of course you can value a degree, a master's degree or a PhD. If you want, we can put a value on it. But when you are starting a business, what really matters is the materiality, money on ground, or the ability to convert something into money. So even if you have the knowledge, skills, and experience, how can that help us succeed as a company? So for example, can you use your knowledge, skills, and experience to make sales for the company? So sometimes people want to start a business and they say things like, you know, I have experience in this market and I can bring in sales of 100 million naira within our first 3 months. And on that basis, you should give me the lion's share of equity. Give me 60%. You cannot afford to share equity on the basis of promises. You have to share equity on the basis of real stuff, not on the basis of promises or what people have or they think they have. So that's another thing people can bring to the table, knowledge, skills, and experience. Another thing people can bring to the table when you're forming a company is time. Businesses need time. And sometimes you may have the capital, but you may be engaged in your job. Maybe you're a lawyer, doctor, engineer. You have a full-time career, and you're not quite ready to pull out of your career and start focus on business full-time, right? Somebody who can contribute that time can get compensated for the time. Another thing you can contribute when you're starting a company is relationships, networks. So if you can contribute relationships or networks that can lead to sales, then that is valuable. So there's a simple rule here. The person or people who bring money when a business is starting, those are the people who can claim the higher percentage of equity.